Hello and welcome to KennyRoy.com. I'm Kenny Roy. This is the Ask Video Mail for the week of October 7th, 2013. Welcome to the site to you new members, and welcome back to the old. The Ask Video Mail is your chance to get your question in character animation or performance answered in a video just like this one, but I need your question if I'm going to answer it. So please send your questions to webmaster@KennyRoy.com. I go through all the questions and I answer the ones I think will help the most people. There is no such thing as a stupid question, and it is the best way to get the most out of the site. This is a very exciting time. The Anim Gym, we just did the first Anim Gym webcast. It was awesome. I had the pleasure of critiquing some really good work. If you have no idea what the Anim Gym is, hopefully you start participating in it. Just dive into the forums and take a look at the first forum. It's just called Anim Gym, and you'll get all the information you want there. Also in the menu over here, there is a link for Anim Gym. Just click on it, and there's also some information. But it is it's better than I could have dreamed. There's really a lot of awesome work going on. It seems like everybody's excited, so please participate if you are serious about getting really good at animation. This will be the fastest way. I guarantee you, it'll be the fastest way. I'm trying to shore everything up. I'm trying to make it so that all the videos, like everything has like its own little place and own little section. So there's going to be a little bit of a, not of a redesign, but sort of like a shuffling around, a little bit of a reorganization of the way that the videos work on KennyRoy.com. I don't want to spend also too much time talking about other kinds of stuff other than like the video mail in the video mails, and the lectures in the lectures, webcasts, and all that stuff. I want to keep it a little bit more segregated. So that maybe potentially in the future that we're going to do a few more like news items, those kinds of things. It's kind of hard to plan all this stuff while the site is going, so just bear with me, and you'll see things kind of like shift and change. You'll still get all the same great content that you're used to, and things will go smoothly. So there shouldn't be anything to worry about. But I just want to give you a heads up that that's what's going on. Today's question is really cool. I think you're going to like it. Let's take a look. I really like this question. I'm very happy you sent it in. Thank you for sending that one in. This issue that this animator's brought up, becoming your own best editor, I said this in a webcast, I believe, and I've also repeated it a few times in the lectures. And I will start off by just giving you really just the bare bones reality of the situation, and this doesn't just apply to animation, it's with everything. All you can do to get better at anything is practice. That's it. That's all you can do. In fact, I'm going to let that sink in. I'm going to treat myself to an Altoid. What do you think about that? No, in all seriousness, the only thing you can really do is work out your muscles, is train and drill your muscles. I'm just reminded by what I mean. I've said this already before in a couple lectures and video mails, that when we're animators and we're starting out, we have good taste, and Ira Glass wrote that or said that very famously, and that's why we get into this, because we have good taste and we know what we like, and when we start off, we have all of this intention and really high hopes of being able to achieve that. And that's normally how we go about learning, is we go about it by trying to emulate what's in our head. We try to create that perfect shot that we see, and that's the slowest and most like basically detrimental to your just emotional well-being as you can possibly be in terms of learning animation. And the reason is because you'll have that great taste, and nothing you're making lives up to what you want it to be. You know what's wrong with it. You're not stupid. You can see what's wrong with the animation. You just can't make it. You just can't make it any better. So that's why I didn't want this to turn into an advertisement. Will improve much quicker. In the same vein, every single part of the decision-making process, and this to answer the question, this is what gets down to the real meat and potatoes of this. Every single as well that goes, the decision-making process can be exercised as well. Okay. And what I mean is that if you want to cut through the people, to do that is trust your instincts. And the way you do that is that you drill your instincts. You make it so that you are making so many instinctual choices per day that as a muscle, your improve and improve and improve and improve. And then you know that as time just keeps on going by, you can rely on your instincts, okay? It's a way to actually get through all those cliche choices even sooner. Does that make sense? Okay, so what's an example? I like to recommend to everybody that wants to be an animator to take improv class. Why? Because you go out on stage, you're basically like naked in front of the audience, and you have to create a scene. How do you create a scene while thinking about it? You don't. You don't. It's, as soon as like you see like another player start going into your head, you're like, oh my God, and they close down, and you there's nothing. There's just a brick wall, and there's no more playing going on. You have to be completely open and just react naturally to what happens. React naturally. What's that sound like? That sounds like instincts, doesn't it? Right? But as soon as you start saying like, oh man, after he says that next thing, maybe it'd be funny if I turn around because then it'll look like you're already gone. They said something and you missed it. And the audience wanted you to pick up on it. The audience got a chuckle out of it. They want to see you react to it and then take that idea further and further. Right? But no, you were in your head and you missed it. Okay? So in improv, you need to rely so much on your instincts that there's no way around it. You can't get through one scene of improv without relying on your instincts. So my best advice would be to actually take an improv class to learn how to develop your instincts and to basically go through. Because in that second, someone turns around and says like, quick, hand me that. They didn't ask you a question. They said, hand me that in a way that's like, you know what you're supposed to hand them. And then you have to decide and show the audience exactly what you're about to hand them. You know, you're going to go like this and then hand it to them, right? Are you going to go like this and then hand it to them? Are you going to go like this and hand it to them? What are you going to do? Those are just 3 ideas that I just had, okay? In the moment, in the instant that person does that on stage in front of a live audience, how many ideas can you get through before you're standing there like looking like you're trying to think of the funniest thing to do, right? Maybe 3 or 4, max. Absolutely brilliant improvisers can do 30 ideas in 1 second. Why? Because they know how to behave naturally and just let their brain cook. Like a separate processor, a separate core is working on the idea while the main processor is still keeping up that secondary action, whatever they were doing. Even if you can't take an improv course, there are very easy ways to work and develop your instincts and make it so that you are just revolted by your past ideas that were bad. And that's one thing that you can do to actually triage your instincts, is to just go back in time and look at all the things that you've done and say like, oh, I definitely would have chosen something different here and here and here and here. Okay, so if you can't take an improv course, you can do many improv games on your own. So I'd like you, if you're interested in this, if you're interested in becoming a better performer and specifically in this vein of performance and performance choices and editing yourself like in the moment and cutting through the crap and getting to the real good stuff, then Google improv games and then look at them and then play some of them just with yourself. A lot of them don't actually need a partner. Okay, one of my favorite is a improv game that I think it's called Alphabet Story or Alphabet Soup or something like that, where normally the characters all go out on stage and they have to talk to each other by going through the alphabet. So the first letter of the first word of the first person sentence has to be A. And then the first letter of the first word of the second person sentence has to be B, right? And so you just go through like that. Sometimes, I know this sounds stupid and crazy and like I'm totally like, you know, wigged out and insane, but I will do a alphabet story in the car on the way to work, just out loud. It's funny, I used to, where is it? I don't used to have, I still have. No, I can't find it right now. I've got a Bluetooth because I have a standing desk and it's nice to, you know, sometimes, you know, take a call and be moving around and whatever. So I used to, whenever I wanted to play an improv game in my car, I would put my Bluetooth in and then just like play the improv game, and people, I thought to myself, oh, well, people think that I'm talking on the phone. Well, now my car has a Bluetooth built in, so I don't have the Bluetooth in my car, so I definitely just look crazy. Anyway, so I'm going to do an alphabet soup in front of you, alphabet story in front of you right now, just to show you how it goes, how it works, and you can do your own, okay? And now, there are hundreds, I am not kidding, hundreds of improv games, and they're all brain teasers, and not all of them, in fact, a majority of them you can't play with just on your own, but a lot of them you can. Here's one you can. Okay, so I'm going to do an alphabet story, normally we get a suggestion from the audience, but I'm going to just pick a day in the life of Kenny, okay, so I'll just tell you a story, okay. Okay, here we go. At about 8 p.m., it's time to put Liam down, but he's not really interested in going to sleep at that time. Can't seem to figure out how to get him excited to go to bed. Don't know if I should maybe read him a story or do something different. Every night it's a fight. He's struggling and pushing me and screaming. Finally, I decided, oh, I can make this a game. Games are great for kids. Having fun is the best way to make them listen to you. I decided we're going to play a game where he has to hide from me. Just for fun, I like to dress up as well, and he gets a huge kick out of this. Kicks are good, not bad. Kicking is good. Last night, I dressed up as a tiger, and he thought it was hilarious. He was running around, and he actually was looking like he was going to get into bed. My wife doesn't think that this is a good idea because she thinks he gets too riled up. Not only that, he also kind of spits up his dinner because he gets so, excited and over the top. Obviously, we're going to take this down a notch. We're not going to play this big, grandiose game every single time. Presumably, we'll just be able to bring it down, a notch every single night, and then he'll just like going to bed. Quickly, I just put his pajamas on while he was giggling, laughing at my costume and whatever. Right when I think I have him ready for bed, he jumps up and starts running around, screaming and just making a huge mess, throwing things. Understand, this is a 2-year-old, so I'm not extremely over the top about trying to get him into bed super quick. Very soon, though, my wife is very annoyed. She says, listen, you had your chance. It's time to get him into the bed. When I finally got him in bed, it was super late. I obviously had way too much fun with him. X-rays are flying in from the moon in the story that I'm reading him. It seems like he likes it. Yes, I did forget what the next letter was, but that's okay because finally Liam was in bed. Zanily enough, this is going to be the quietest way to get a 2-year-old into bed I can think of. Okay, Did I skip a letter? I think I did. And I got really screwed up. It's good. It's a little bit of cheating. It's a little bit of cheating, but you don't want to get caught with the X letter when you're playing with like 4 people on a stage. So that's kind of funny because you're automatically going to have it. If you play this game a couple times, you'll learn a few X words, and then you won't be caught in the position that I was. What did I say? X-rays are bouncing off the moon in the story I was reading him. Oh, geez. Anyway, but that was a lot of fun. I'm jazzed up right now. I'm very excited. And that was really slow and stupid, and there was no story to it. It was just like over and over sort of complaining about how hard it is to get my kid into bed. You know what I mean? While on stage, what you want to do is you want to like have a narrative thread. You want to push the story along. You want to keep the audience engaged. So you can't just come up with a B word, baseball, okay, and then just say baseball, and then try to piece together a story from what you just blurted out. So your instincts start to kick in, and you just have to rely on them and lean on them and let them save you every single time. You'll notice that if you've never played this game before, that's what you'll be doing. You'll say like, let's start it like another story. Let's start it like on G, okay? And the story is about being stopped by a police officer. Gosh, I said to the police officer, E-F-G-H, handicap. You were riding in the handicap lane. I wasn't in the handicap lane. Jumping is what you should be doing. That's what ends up happening. People who have like haven't worked their instincts out in this like kind of way kind of do that, and that's fine. That's where you're going to start. It's fine. That's where you're going to start and work it, exercise it, drill it. Anyway, I think I've made my point. Hopefully you understand that there is only one way to get better really at anything, is to practice. But for this, I really like improv as a shortcut to cut through the BS, cut through to the best stuff, and be your best editor. Okay, that was an awesome question. Thank you for sending it. Please send more to webmaster@kennyroy.com. I can even look at your Maya file. If you are just stuck on your animation, send me your Maya file. I'll open it up and I'll take a look and I'll try to help you out. Okay, that's always a really fun video mail for me. All right. Thanks again. Please send more video mail questions. I do need more. Good luck with your animation, and as always, rock on.